Hey, it's Matt here. Today I am back for day number 16 of R/Regular Revenge. Today I have 5 stories lined up, although one of them is actually an image. We're not going to start with the image first, though. We're going to start with I quit. When I was in high school, I worked at a fast food chain. I literally made enough to pay my car insurance and drive myself to school with about $50 to $60 left over to spend. I was a part-time worker and after working there a few months, got offered a weekend gig. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Friday and Saturday. It sucked, but it was a bit more money due to hours at a promised raise. I got about 5 cents. What? The first weekend I worked, the business made the most it ever had on that schedule. I was polite and I had returned customers. I was basically the weekend manager without being a manager. I was told this. Well, one of our managers was a horrible lady. Lazy, snide, etc. Stick up her ass. She had a bad habit of coming in at 8 and 9 a.m. to relieve me from my shifts. I was kind of a manager, right? So I couldn't just leave. I was told this. So one evening while my parents were out of town, my car wouldn't start. I knew I had friends that could take me, but it would take a while to get them there. So I called up work to let them know I was on my way, but I might be a few minutes late. So the lady manager decides to yell in front of my job, how dare I? I told her I was doing my best and I would get there. I called some friends, got a ride, with no solid ride home, and walked in about 5 to 10 minutes late. I mean, I was proud of being able to get there so fast, but she just exploded like a creeper. She was just so inconvenienced by that at that 5 to 10 minutes. Even while I was speaking about how messed up it all was and being quite upset, I apologized. I was a very timid teenager for being late and tried to explain that I had called, she did know, and I had indeed made it like I said I would. She would not stop. She had nothing else on me but this one time. That was all. And she kept yelling. The other night worker, only 2 people on nights, was just watching with a holy crap look. So I finally broke. I called her out on all those times she had been over an hour late and how I never complained. How 5 to 10 minutes was nothing compared to going to school, then working a 10-hour shift. Then I told her to get bent, figure out the schedule herself, because I wasn't going to be treated that way. So I quit. I stepped out and called my friends to pick me up. A few minutes later, the other guy walked out. We chatted a few minutes. It was his first day. I was supposed to trade him. After the blow-up, he said he didn't want to work there anymore. He actually faked me. She kinda screwed herself. I never asked how it went, but I doubt she managed on her own. Because she's a terrible manager. Okay, next story. Expelled 3 days before transferring, or how I bullied a bully back. The 2 months I spent in 6th grade, year 7 for you lovely UK readers, would be year 6 for me, because I'm in Australia, was anything but pleasant. It was a scary new school, new kids I didn't know because it was a city school instead of country, new teachers, and more importantly, a brand new principal who was starting his first year in that position. The school was set up with floors, the 6th graders on the top floor, 7th on the middle, 8th on the main floor, along with the cafeteria, gymnasium, band, and choir rooms. Kids were expected to be able to travel to and from classrooms and floors as needed on their own for the first time. Now, gym was never a favourite class. I had asthma, and strenuous activity didn't help that condition any. I sat out with permission from certain things, and the gym teacher, aka coach, Mr. Max, was a wonderful man who understood completely and even waved off a doctor's note for it. After a week of so, we played free-for-all dodgeball for the first time. Unlike normal dodgeball, there was no line you couldn't cross. So it was complete anarchy of children running and screaming and throwing rubber balls at each other. That was when I fully met my new and shiny bully, Ron. Run! It's like the sound you hear in the car. Run! No, that's chainsaw. Who was at least 3 times my size and twice my height. He was a big kid. He looked me over, grinned, and full-on punched me square in the side of the head instead of hitting me with the ball. Oh fucking God. Whenever you deal with a bully, it's the worst kind of bully. The bully that actually physically punches you so hard. Why? Then it escalated. He was also a 6th grader, and we shared some classes, gym and band. In band, I'd get smacked in the back of the head with a trombone slide, punched or shoved in gym or a hallway, and then finally one fateful day he picked me up off the floor and tossed me down the stairs from the third floor. What the actual fuck? Why? These stories are gonna get even more crazy the further down the rabbit hole I get. Oh no. I only sprained a wrist and chipped a tooth fakely. How the fuck did you not hurt yourself that much? But my mother went beyond ballistic when I finally fessed up to the bullying, and my new friend confirmed it. She brought me into school the next day and requested a meeting with the principal. The meeting went just as bad, and since the teacher hadn't seen the exchange, and I hadn't seen myself getting picked up from behind, he couldn't do anything about it, and it was a likely case of he just has a crush on you. Hey, are you a female? Or male? Because if that makes sense if you're a female. I mean, Jesus Christ. Mum probably went home, registered me for homeschooling for a private school, and told me that I had a month until I was going to be leaving permanently. And to give that little shit hell, baby. So I did just that. My moldy size experiment. Bag was open, wriggled into his locker at gym, and squeezed it out onto his clothes. An anthill collected and poured into his backpack during class. Oh, you are crazy. I batted my eyelashes and begged him to let me do his history report for him if he'd stop hitting me. I purposely made it absolute garbage to get him a bad grade. Okay. That confirms me that you're a female. Oh, Jesus Christ. Then came the coup de grace. I went to Coach Max and asked if we could play free-for-all dodgeball one last time since I was leaving and loved it so much. He agreed, which meant less work for him after all, and so the game commenced. I knew Ron would hunt me down to hit me somehow again. Only this time the tables had turned. I dove for the first ball I found, scared the carnage for him, ran up to him with a vindictive grin, pulled my leg back, and as hard as my tiny body could, and slammed his foot right into his crotch. He bumped to the ground with a horrific scream of agony. Kids nearby stopped playing and ran for Coach Max. But that was not the end. I ripped my leg back and kicked him again in the face. Coach saw the last kick and naturally called me off. Helped the degenerate up and off to the nurse's office. Once there, he, through tears and yelling, explained what I had done, and the nurse grabbed the principal, who grabbed me, and sat me down and demanded why I had assaulted a student. Sir, you said last month that him throwing me down the stairs was a crush on me, right? I was returning the favour. He didn't like that answer apparently, and called my mother to come and get me that I was suspended. My mother did, and since I only had 3 days left before the transfer, I never got to go back. and she never punished me for my 2-ish weeks of being a bully. Ah! I love how you ran up to Rod, your bully, and you were ready for it. You ran right up to him. Right in the nuts! Ah, nah! Woohoo! Throw down the says, get kicked in the nuts. Which one would you prefer? Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move on to the image now so we can just take a moment to breathe. Spiking a thief's drink. Good morning to whoever has been enjoying my coffee creamer all week. Surprise! You've been drinking my breast milk. Hope you've enjoyed. Cheers. P.S. It's organic, so no worries. Nice. Simple and to the point. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This was instantly removed from r/petty-revenge. So it went from, it's a petty one that got moved here. Huh. I often fly for work. So often I was within sight of passing the 1,000,000-mile mark on my favourite airline when I suddenly started working from home last year. Anyways, this happened nearly 10 years ago. After boarding the plane, I get my aisle seat and wait for the passengers to finish loading. Suddenly I felt the back of my seat move in that slightly disturbing way they do when a person behind you uses it as an accessibility handle to help them stand up. No big deal. I figured it was probably a physically impaired person that really needed the extra leverage to stand. That theory didn't last long as the middle-aged woman strolled past my seat to the restroom near the front with nearly a problem. She didn't seem physically disabled at all. Oh well, maybe this was her first flight. She didn't know how rude that is. Or maybe she slipped a little and caught herself with my seat. By mid-flight, I knew better. She kept getting up every 10 minutes, using my seat back to do so, and let it springboard back when she let go. I was so irritated I eavesdropped a little and heard her telling some guy next to her about her travel job and also about the mud run she was preparing for. So proud of her last one. Good for her, she didn't need to grab my seat for help getting up. Now I should have politely asked her to stop, but this is petty revenge, so I obviously didn't do any additional adulting that day. Nope. When I heard her tell the guy next to her that she'd be right back, I leaned forward and depressed the seat recline button just in time for her to grab my favorite point of leverage, my seat. She wasn't expecting it to instantly fly back the entire 2 inches into the fully reclined mode. She gasped and then apologized to me. Such sweet music to my petty ears. More importantly, she learned not to do that anymore. At least with my seat, and since I'm petty as fuck, that's the only one I really cared about. It's just like, I don't get why people need to be like, I need to use this to get up. Every fucking time I need to get up. And I need to be getting up and down so often, I might as well be just walking around on the plane. Like, bitch. If you can stay seated for maybe an hour and like only do it once an hour, it's gonna be less annoying. Unless it's a 10-hour flight and you're getting up when you see every hour, it's just like, bitch, why are you getting up so late? Okay, let's move on to the last story. Free tablet, but I still have to pay for it? So it all started 2 weeks ago when I received a call from my phone service supplier saying because I was such a loyal customer, I'll be receiving a new tablet. Sweet, something for the nieces and nephews when they visit. I say yes to getting a free tablet. I'm on my computer at the time, look up the tablet. It's an old one of a company I never heard of that retails for $99. Still free. Why not, I figured. Then the person on the phone says, okay, we'll send it to you, but you have to pay $10 a month for 2 years. I tell him that it's not free. I am paying for more than its retail price. He tells me, but it also gives you 1 extra gigabyte data per month on your mobile plan. I ask him to look at my records and see if I have ever gone over my data limit. He says, no, you use half of it. Okay, then just give me the tablet, free and no extra data. That is a no-go. This gets me because I really don't like upsells for crap I don't need. I hang up and write an email to my cell service provider and ask why they would try to get more money out of me when the plan I have seems to be more than enough, and this seems like a money grab from a loyal customer. I receive a call 7 days later. Great response time, eh? It's just like a whole week. I explain my problem with it and try to explain free versus paying. Get nowhere. All she says is this tablet is free, but with conditions. You gotta love it. Fucking conditions on a free item. It's just like, hey. I am not happy. Going from free gift to nothing. Time to take my business elsewhere. Went out this morning and talked to the competition, and 25 minutes later I have a plan for twice the data, more airtime at more than half the price, roughly $100 to $40, and still the same number. Here is where it gets good. My old service provider calls because a long time loyal customer, 8 years, and lo and behold, it's the same lady that had called me about my complaint. Then, hello, you have just left us for a rival company. Is there something we can do to bring you back? Yeah, I'll come back for a free tablet. Sir, we can do that for you. Okay, but it comes with a condition I get 60 off my bill per month and more minutes and twice the data. Sorry, we can't do that, sir. But it's a free tablet, and they always come with conditions. That's what you said. She figured out pretty quickly who she was talking to again. I just started laughing and said, goodbye. At least, in the end, you got a better deal on your cell phone. You didn't get a free tablet that would have cost more than the tablet anyway, because $10 over, like $10 a month times 24, that's $240 compared to 100. Why is the company trying to scam you of $140? I mean, goddamn. Just fuck off with that shit. And with that, links will be in the description to my main channel and also the channel that you're on right now with links to the playlist in the last episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when next video comes out. A ding, and Mad Scientist out.